Hello. I really don't know whether I want to be doing this video or not, because I know that basing this video just off of my opinion and not off of any research, especially when I don't actually appear on camera but just my audio. This is a really difficult topic and I don't want to alienate either side of the people on this subject, but I know that it's something that may or may not have been getting highlighted recently. This is because one of the things that has been brought up recently due to the election and Theresa May's decisions is the rights around abortion and pro-choice, etc. I'm not an expert. I've had two children, two sons, who are 16 currently and 10 currently. Neither of which I planned to have when I had them, which is why this is such a complicated subject, because despite the fact that I didn't plan to be pregnant at 19 and 25, I would not have aborted them myself, but I do understand that under certain complex circumstances, if you've been the victim of a rape or a sexual assault or have become pregnant at the hands of a relative, that keeping a child growing inside of you that wasn't planned for those reasons rather than wasn't planned for my reasons, it isn't something that people are going to want to carry out. And a woman does have the right to choose what she should do in regards to if she's got pregnant under those circumstances. If you've just had sex and you found yourself pregnant unplanned, or you've planned to get pregnant because you think that, oh, I'll get this benefit and I'll get that benefit and I'll get a house and I'll get this and I'll get that. This is why abortion is such a complicated issue. When it comes to having something inside your body that is put there because you were sexually assaulted or abused in some way, this, I think, is why we need the services that we have, or that we did have. The Democratic Unionist Party of Ireland holding the views that they do, including the apparent view that they have, which seems to indicate that they don't believe that a woman has a right to choose whether or not she keeps a baby inside her, including if she's been the victim of a rape or a sexual assault or sexual abuse at home through a relative. In having a party tell you that you don't have the right to get rid of a child. The complication is that, yes, in all circumstances, the baby did not ask to be there. Right? The baby is actually a human life, and it's not the baby's fault how it got there. be it by a sexual assault or because you were foolish and stupid and you decided to open your legs to somebody and were promiscuous and ended up pregnant and then thought, oh, you'll get all these advantages. If I had to give my personal opinion, which I think is what I'm trying to do in this video, it's that if a baby is a result of a rape or sexual abuse at home or a sexual assault, yes, you could carry that baby to term and then he or she could be adopted. However, the complication is in the fact that the baby, albeit not it being the baby's fault, is the result of a rape or sexual assault or sexual abuse in the home, and the mental trauma that a woman will experience of having this alien thing within herself that was put there by such a thing. She wants to get rid of it. She doesn't want it there. She's already been violated by somebody sexually assaulting her, but then she's violated for 9 months or 42 weeks, whatever you want to put it, by having this thing that she didn't ask to be put in her growing in. And this is why I say it's complicated. This is a really, really difficult topic to talk about, I'm not going to be earning anything from upload. I don't earn anything from any videos that are uploaded to YouTube at all. Anyway, right, how YouTube works is unless you've got 10,000 plus lifetime views, etc., you don't earn a penny now. And obviously if it's sensitive topics like this, then if it's deemed sensitive by YouTube, you get a little yellow $sign. If you've monetized the video, the $sign turns yellow if the content topic is sensitive like this. But it is something that's being brought up by Theresa May, saying that she was going to go into a confidence and supply coalition with the Democratic Unionist Party. This is just one of the many things that Tim has been brought up by her saying this, as it appears to be at the moment. This is falling apart, and with the Queen's speech and stuff that apparently went ahead today, and I haven't seen the news, so I don't know. I just know it seems to have been indicated that it did, because there's a furore over Theresa May bowing and Jeremy Corbyn not bowing, which apparently the protocol is that you don't bow to the Queen, so why Theresa May did, I don't know. It seems to all be falling apart, so there might not be a Democratic Unionist Party confidence and supply coalition thing now. But this is all being brought up, amongst other things, in regards to the fact that they've had ties with terrorist groups, which is what they were having a go at Jeremy Corbyn for, talking to Sinn Féin and stuff. And then this big deal about Irish women, Northern Irish women, a woman apparently was sectioned and told that she couldn't have an abortion. So this is why we're talking about this. I've given my opinion and a little bit of information that I do know now in regards to this and why I'm talking about this. So yeah, it's a complicated issue that I'm going to be uploading at nearly 8 o'clock at night on the summer solstice, the day of summer solstice, when it's still light outside. So if you've got an opinion, either pro-choice or otherwise, I know it's a sensitive topic, and please refrain from giving any abuse to me because of expressing an opinion that I did. I've tried to be careful how I worded this, but like I said, if you've been raped, sexually assaulted, sexually abused, and you get pregnant, it is actually the thing that I agree with is your choice. I didn't plan to get pregnant, but I chose to carry on my pregnancy with both my children, because after all, I'm the one who engaged in the act and ended up getting pregnant both times and having my children. So at no stage is it ever the child's fault. They were never asked to be put there, whether it was consented to or not. So that's why it's such a complicated issue. I hope I've made how I feel clear, and I hope that without being abusive towards me or towards each other, you can make how you feel clear, because I know that part of the reason why I'm uploading this is not just because of the Democratic Unionist Party, but because I know that there's people that I'm friends with that may be going on demonstrations and stuff in regards to abortion and anti-abortionists and things like that. So I'm expressing an opinion in regards to this, that I wouldn't abort a child, but there are complex issues as to why people do. So neither side has a right over your body to tell you whether or not you should keep a child in you. The decision is actually up to the person that's pregnant, not anybody else, not any parties, be it Labour or Conservative or the Democratic Unionist Party or Plaid Cymru or the SNP or the Liberal Democrats. None of those people have a right to turn around and tell you that you can't have an abortion if you want, as long as it's for the right reasons. If you just got pregnant because you were foolish and you think, oh, I'm going to go and get an abortion, right, that's where I am going to draw a line on it. You can't decide. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I mean, if you decide that you're going to have an abortion because it wasn't planned and you just want to get rid of it, still bear in mind that it's still not the baby's fault. I mean, it's not your fault either if you've been sexually assaulted or sexually abused. It's not your fault. But if you have actually consensually engaged in an act and then you decide you don't want that baby, that's where it's very complicated for me. But I think we ought to leave this there, because I don't want to further put my foot in it with everybody. But this is why, me personally, I may not attend any protests about abortion or not aborting or pro-life and all that. I might not attend those kind of protests or sign any petitions or anything around abortion and stuff, because I've basically expressed my opinion now into what I think about whether or not you abort a child, and whether or not it even is a child. Because I know to start with, it's considered that it's not, but it does develop into one. So the later you leave it, if you're planning to have an abortion, the more of a baby it's become. So yeah, I hope that you don't mind the serious topics that I've been doing. On this channel recently, I've covered a lot of things. So I'm going to go now, and please do all the usual if you want to. It's entirely up to you, your choice. And I will see you again soon. Goodbye.